G'day, Kenny Mayne here again with lesson 3. We're going to review what we did last lesson, in lesson 2, mainly because I forgot something. So look, just going to go back to this part here, which is a 2-bar tune, and what I forgot to tell you is, on these double lines, double dots, that's a repeat sign. So when you see this coming the other way, it means you've got to come back to this point. So if you go through to here, there's the repeat sign. As you can see, it's going the other way. You go back to that point. Then you go again, and so on. So it's a repeat sign. Later on in music, or when you buy music, you'll find these little signs in the music, and that's what it means. So without getting too technical, I'll explain a bit better later on, but that little bit there is a repeat sign. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next part, and here we go. Okay, now as you can see, I've got here the E scale. Now it's from E to E, and as you can see across the top, I've got 8 numbers across the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that being from E to E is an octave. Like an octopus has 8 legs, an octave has 8 notes. Okay, and we take the first note of the E scale, which gives us E, and we take the 5th note of the E scale, which gives us a B7. So in turn, that's why E and B7 go together, because B7 is the 5th note of the E scale, so they're related, okay? Without getting too technical, we'll come back to that later and give you a bit more on that. But now we're going to do a song, and the song we're going to do is Pick a Bale of Cotton. Now, with Pick a Bale of Cotton, it's actually from the south of America, Memphis or wherever down that way. Anyway, and it was done by the black Africans, if you like them, or the Negroes. Anyway, without being too technical. Anyway, what happened is the Sheilas used to pick the cotton, and the young bucks used to pick it up and carry it over to the cart, and that's how they did it back in the good old days. Anyway, and this song actually originated from that area. And that's a tale I've been told, and that's a tale I'm telling you. Anyway, so also another thing, we're going to sing. Actually, we're going to sing this song, but so singing's like riding a bike. First time you sing, you'll fall off, and the hardest critic on your voice is you. And sometimes, like when we sing out of tune. So then we got to work out how to get in tune. And I'm the worst for singing out of tune, if you know what I mean. But the thing is, you get better as you get older, so they say. Anyway, so this is, you start this note here, this is a starting note we've got. It's on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, which is a G sharp, and we go ga-na. Once again, ga-na. So you get that, so you can pitch it. And then what an ad-lib start is, you actually can muck around as much as you like until the actual whole band comes in. So you can take 6 months to do the first line if you like, or you can take 5 minutes, it's up to you. But then when you get to that particular point in the song and the band starts, you can no longer muck around. So it's a way of putting feeling into the song with an ad-lib start, and people aren't really sure what's going to happen after the ad-lib start. Okay, so we go like this. Gonna jump down, turn around and pick a bale of cotton. Gonna jump down, turn around and pick a bale of day. Oh Lordy, pick a bale of cotton. Oh Lordy, pick a bale of day. 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm not going to go right into the whole song, but I am actually. But the thing is with it, what I want you to do is, when you do an ad-lib start, you can sort of stand up and you can jump down and you can actually turn around and give it a bit of character. Like Elvis does, you know, give a bit of body movement. People like that sort of thing. And also, another thing is when you do it, you only have to go, your voice is carrying the tune, so you go, gonna jump down, turn around and pick a bale of cotton. Gonna jump down, turn around. And then we come to the B7. So then we go, pick a bale a day. Sorry, to E. So if you listen, look at that, when you go pick, it's down, up, sounds like up, fail, down, up, day, 2, 3, 4. Now I've done that so that you can get that sort of thing. So if you want to learn the song quickly, you highlight those two bars and you go, or bar, you go, pick, up, fail, up, day, 2, 3, 4, pick, up, fail, up, day, 2, 3, 4, pick, up, fail, up, day, 2, 3, 4, pick, up, fail, up, day, 2, 3, 4. When you've got that together, sorry I'm getting a bit of sore throat here, but when you get that together, then you can learn the whole song. But when you learn a song, it's important to learn the song without worrying about the extra verses. So when you can sing the first verse and chorus, then without the music, then it's easy to sing the rest of the song because you only got to learn the words. And once again, anybody who has a book in front of them when they sing on stage, to me, is not professional. Okay, so if you've got to read the words on stage, you're not really professional, because the simple reason being is you're concentrating too much on reading the words, and the truth of the matter is you don't know the song because you've got to read the words. But if you learn the song properly, you don't need the words. You use the old bean, the memory. Okay? So in turn, what you're going to learn first off is, I've dropped my pointer, excuse me. Okay, what you've got to learn first off is from here to here. Then I've got extra verses down the bottom here, like me and my mama, me and my mate, me and my uncle. Now another thing too is, when you perform a song, it's very important to involve people in the song. So in other words, if you got your brother sitting there and you're doing this song, you can say, me and me brother. So everyone focuses on your brother for a moment and the attention goes to him. Then you might say, me and me sister, or me and me uncle, whoever. But you point the bone at somebody else, and the good thing about it is they get highlighted for a moment of the song, and it gives them a little bit of stardom too. So it helps you to sell the song and also be a good entertainer, rather than just say, hey, look at me, I'm singing a song. Because most of us are pretty boring. Okay, so going back to it, so we're going to do this, we're going to go, and you can pitch your note, strum the chord, and that gives you the sound. You go, gonna jump down, turn around and pick a bale of cotton. Gonna jump down, turn around and pick a bale of hay. Oh Lordy, pick a bale of cotton. Oh Lordy, pick a bale of hay. 2, 3, 4. Me and my mama gonna pick a bale of cotton. Me and my mama gonna pick a bale of hay. Oh Lordy, pick a bale of cotton. Oh Lordy, pick a bale of hay. 2, 3, 4. Me and my uncle gonna pick a bale of cotton. Me and my uncle gonna pick a bale of hay. Oh Lordy, pick a bale of cotton. Oh Lordy, pick a bale of hay. I'll let you do the rest. I'm cracking up my cameraman. Johnny's cackling at the back there. So stop there, and that's how you do the song. It's actually recorded by a few people. You can actually look it up on the website and find out how to do it. But as I say, make it your own song, put your own character in it, and then it becomes your song. Moving right along, we're going to the next page. Okay, now we're in, wait a minute, I've got to make sure that, I've got to pick up my plectrum. Oh, where's my pointer gone? Oh, drop my pointer too, I'll second. Okay, now we're going to do the chords in the key of C. And once again, we've got, I only got this written small, but we've got the key of C. It's C to C, which is 8 notes. Now, we're going to do these chords like this. Now, there, as you can see, I've got them married up. So you've got C, A minor, F, D minor, E7 and G7. Now, we're going to do the first two chords. Now, you do the first chord, you put your first finger, the C chord, on the second string on the first fret. You put your second finger on the fourth string on the second fret, and your third finger on the third fret on the 5th string, and you strum that, and that's a C chord. Now to get an A minor chord, we only have to move one finger. So we move the 3rd finger under the 2nd finger, and that gives us an A minor. So to practice this, what we do, we go backwards and forwards. So we get this, we get C, A minor, C, A minor. And when you can do that quite well, then you move to the next two. Now the next two chords, this next chord is the hardest chord you'll ever have to do, and it's the F chord, okay? Now once again, when I do it, I put my thumb over the top like that, then I put my 3rd finger in place, then my 2nd finger in place. And as you can see, my 3rd finger here is over the 2nd fret. And then I let my 1st finger cover the first 2 strings, because as you can see, here it's got the little thing, that 1 and 1, so it covers 2 strings. So then we get this. And that's an F chord. Now, if you look at my hand from the back of the guitar, you can see my hands like that. So, as you can see, that's so that that 1st finger goes in the right position, okay, like that. So now when we want to do the D minor, once again, all we've got to do is one finger movement. We put the little finger on the 2nd string on the 3rd fret, so we get this. So now we've got if you get this sound, which you more than likely will, don't be worried, because once again it's part of learning, okay? Your hands will toughen up as you do it, but most importantly, form the chord, do the next one. Get that little finger moving. This little bloke does a lot of work later on, and he's very important to get him exercised, okay? So once again, F, D minor, like that. Okay, now we're going to go to the last 2 chords. Now, the last 2 chords are E7 and G7. Now, we're going to use the 2nd finger here as a pivot point. As you can see, the 2nd finger. Alright, so we're going to go here, we do the E7, which is an E chord with 1 finger less. Okay, so it's just a 2-finger chord. Then we leave our 2nd finger in place, and we put our 3rd finger up on the 6th string, and our 1st finger down on the 1st fret, and we get the G7. So we get E7, G7, E7, G7, E7, G7, E7, G7. So then, what we do then, we practice these chords in that way. So we go to C, A minor, E7, G7, E7, G7, E7, G7, E7, G7, and back to C. Okay, now in turn, what you're going to do now is, once you can play them as 2 chords, as we've done in the lots of 2, now I want you to play the whole lot in a row, and only strumming the chord once and change to the next chord. Once again, it sharpens your hand, it sharpens your brain and everything, and it makes your work a bit harder. So you learn nothing by holding a chord and just strumming it, okay? So now we've got C, A minor, F, D minor, E7, G7. C, A minor, F, D minor, E7, G7. C, A minor, F, D minor, E7, G7, and back to C. Now you might ask, why does he always finish on C? Because it's in the key of C, and once again, we start in C and we finish in C. Alright? So it's very important to get these together, because in the next lesson we're going to actually do songs that will need these chords in there. So practice that and yeah, get it. So, and very important thing to know the name of the chord as the shape. Relate the name. So if you play that chord, you're playing a C chord. If you play that chord, it's an F chord and a G7, so on. So C, A minor, F, D minor, E7 and G7 and back to C. And once again, if you call them out like I've been doing, it tells the brain what's going on, and it relates the shape to the name, or the name to the shape. Okay, so in turn, I don't know how, that's about it for this lesson. I think we're about there. So once again, practice all this, get it together. We'll get our cameraman Johnny to focus on this page here, on this part here. Now, this is so that if you've got the facilities of somewhere to download, you can. We're going to set up a website so that you can actually download it. But once again, the C and the A minor, the third finger moves under to there. The D minor, the F and the D minor, as you can see, puts an extra finger, and you've got to cover two. This means cover 2 strings with 1 finger, and the E7 loses 1 note to the G7, and we use the second finger as a pivot point. Okay, so now we're going to focus on that for a moment so you can download it if you've got the facilities of a printer and all that, so you can practice it. Okay, that's it for this lesson, and we'll catch you in the next lesson. And don't forget, it's lesson 4. I don't know what I do when I run out of fingers, but anyway, lesson 4. Catch you then. Hooroo.